Hello everyone and welcome. Today is a little bit of a different video. Today's video is aimed at any of you people out there who have spent money buying a sim rig, buying a flight simulator rig, whether it's a racing rig or anything where you spent a lot of money to game on it. Because guess what? We're all in this together. As soon as you stop playing on it, you can't help but feel like almost guilty that you've got potentially £2,000 of equipment sat there behind you gathering dust. You might be like me, you might end up wanting to sell it, being like, look, I've spent money, I feel a little bit bad, maybe I should get it back. Today I don't want you to do that. I want you to come over to the world of rally. I want you to have a little go and cheer yourself up, and I'll tell you why. I just want you to know you guys are not alone. Don't feel bad about having a lot of money spent that is just sort of sitting there. We all need things. I used to have cool cars. I don't have any cool cars anymore. I used to do other hobbies. My main hobby now is usually gaming in the evening when I get time. I'm a parent, I've got another one on the way. Having this sim racing stuff to me is sort of that little bit of way of getting away from it all. The problem is we all like it, don't we? Say we got loads of money. When you spend a big chunk of it on a hobby, and then you look back at the bank account on the one day that you're not using your equipment, you can't help but to think, oh, you know what I mean? I wish those numbers were a little bit bigger. It's nice having all this equipment. But I speak with experience. I have bought and sold many wheels, and I never make all my money back. Like, no, when I last sold my stuff, I sort of didn't even realise, but with all the bundle that I had, you know, there was like a £30 adapter in there that I just sort of bundled in with it. There were other bits that at the time when I was using it all, your sort of money willy-nilly spent, and I basically perfected it for me. And then when I eventually got bored, you know, I sold it all, and then guess what? I've got it all here again. I've bought it all back. We're all the same. We've probably all done it. I've done it myself with multiple sim rigs. I got a friend of mine who's done it with a VR headset. They bought some Pimax VR headset, whatever it was, and it was very expensive. And these things are great, aren't they? When you're actually using them, playing with them, yeah, they're pretty good. However, as soon as you have a week off, or you just that one day, like, oh, I can't be bothered to get it out, can't be bothered to use it, or you're busy, then a day turns into 1, 2, or you've been doing it enough to almost get a little bit burnt out, and then you just feel guilty for having it sat there. You know what I mean? Does that sound like you potentially? Because that is me. People that know me know how many wheels I've had. In terms of, for me, I've had loads of sim rigs. Car racing wheels, I've probably had over about 10. I started initially with like a Logitech G920 back in the day. I've had Thrustmaster wheels. I've had about 7 or 8 Fanatec wheels, if not more. It always gets to that same point. As soon as I get a little bit burnt out, I sort of just stop playing it. And I'm one of those people, because I don't like to just go a small amount into something. Like, I end up spending that little bit more money because I know at the time what I want. It's like buying a car. I've had multiple cars, and for example, I owned a Subaru at one point, a Subaru WRX. I knew I couldn't just buy the WRX, I had to get the STI version. I bought a Fanatec steering wheel. I knew I couldn't just get the normal belt driven one that's old now, I needed to get direct drive, stuff like that. And I knew when I wanted to buy a cockpit, it had to be an aluminium frame one, it had to have a handbrake, it had to have everything. That is sort of the trap everyone gets trapped in. That's sort of like the trap that I think we all find ourselves with sim racing, especially, and maybe even flight sims. I can't really talk for flight sims, however, I know it is very much the same, because a lot of the equipment is made by the same manufacturers. Still, you're in a seat in front of a big TV, or multiple TVs for that instance. Yeah, I got a train going past my house. It's only every half hour though, it's not too bad. So my main culprit, and where I hear from people how they get burnt out, is games like iRacing, or even a Assetto Corsa Competizione, if that's how you say it. Sounds proper Italian, that. It is that whole safety feature. You might not do anything wrong, but if someone drives into you, you get penalty points and can lose your rating. Now, yes, the idea is if you run 10 races and you only have 1 accident, that isn't your fault. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world, you'll get it back. But considering in a night, say you might do a 1 hour, 2 hour race, something like that. Especially, I speak from this as being a parent. We don't have all the time in the world. So imagine you've got a couple of hours free before you're going to bed, and in the one race you might be attempting that night or two. If you get bashed into and safety points removed in one of the 2 races you're going to do, you can see why people get a little bit frustrated with getting damaged. And I don't know if you guys do it already, but I've got a little bit of the solution for you. You need to hop over to the world of rally. Now, the world of rally is unfortunately an untapped market. There's not many of us creators who actually make rally content. There really isn't. A lot of the people who do it is mainly just wheel cam videos, and I understand it, because the problem with rally, if I was to try and hit a leaderboard time, I have to sit there for like 20 minutes, half hour, learning a stage before I can even start pushing the speed. And trying to be fast and talk is possible when you're on a stage which you almost know 100%. However, it does get to the point where you have to sort of be quiet and attempt the stage without talking, which doesn't make the most interesting content. When I look at other content creators, especially like Gran Turismo, iRacing, stuff like that, there's always something going on the track that even if you are driving in a straight line and you're behind cars, you can see what they're doing, you can talk about it. When you're racing rally, there is only you on the stage, and the problem with that, other than listening to the pace notes, which even, like I said, if you know a stage 100%, you still don't usually know every corner. You have to listen to those pace notes. You're listening to the co-driver. If you miss a pace note, that could be you smashed off the track. If you're doing a championship, that is championship over potentially, or you're going to lose a lot of time and lose a lot of position. The point I'm getting at is, if you are getting bored of your sim rig, you're finding it's gathering a little bit of dust, I invite you over to the world of rally. It's Dirt Rally 2, extremely cheap. You can get that on Steam. I was in CEX today in the UK, second hand on console. You can buy Dirt Rally 1 for like £12. Dirt Rally 2, I don't know, but you can get these games cheap. You could even go on like the older WRC games, 9, 10, whatever, on PC, console. I'd recommend jumping onto the likes of EA, WRC, Dirt Rally 2. They're both games you have to pay for. Richard Burns Rally is fantastic, but it's on PC, and if you're in a country or you don't have fast internet and you're not keen on 100 odd gigabyte download torrent. Now obviously Richard Burns Rally is the most spoke about, one of the best. However, Assetto Corsa Rally is fantastic. There's not a lot of content yet, but it is good. Pardon me. Assetto Corsa Rally is new, and it's actually got some real laser scanned tracks, so you can actually go on there, jump in cars. And I did a video the other day where I run the whole track and tried to beat a real life time going around that track in the same car. I won't spoil it, but yeah, you know, clicking the link, you can see the other video in there. But if you are a little bit bored of your sim rig, you need to come out and try a little bit of rally, because you will crash. Don't expect that you won't crash. You will crash probably more than you stay on the road. Even when you go, okay, I'll go slow and take this stage a little bit slower, you will crash. Just, it is usually pretty inevitable. Rally, until you learn the physics on each of the games you play, you're going to end up crashing. But it's good fun. It's a game that there is a small tight-knit community. If you need rally tips, I've actually done a rally tips video. If you need or want to do some fast competitive multiplayer that's a little bit more relaxed, what I love about the rally multiplayer, even Dirt Rally 2, you can't see any ghost cars. However, you can see that leaderboard time. Every time you get to a checkpoint, when you are racing with some of the fastest guys in the community who are half a second ahead of you, behind you, within, it is honestly some of the most fun racing you can have. And no one else can ruin your race. There's no safety rating to worry about. And it is just fantastic. Now, EA WRC gets a little bit of, people don't like it. Let's just put it that way. Some people don't like it. Look, it's not the most realistic game in the world, nor is Dirt Rally 2. They're more arcade. But they are, you could, in the middle of simulation and arcade. They're not fully arcade and they're not fully simulation. Of course not. Richard Burns Rally. If you want proper rally simulation, yeah, Richard Burns Rally is the way to go. But if you want to dip your toes in it, jump on something a little bit new, EA WRC is fantastic because cross-play, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, all of us can play together at once. I've had friends who've wanted to play with me who can't because they're on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. EA WRC answers those questions. Now, That is the main reason why I still have this game downloaded. On PC, there are plenty of mods to download. I always download different livery skins. I've literally downloaded mods which change the actual look of the menu, the look of the cars. There's even a tutorial mode so you can learn some basic techniques. But I want you guys to come over to the world of Rally. I want you to give it a little bit of a go. Anyway, guys, that is all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. It's been something a little bit different today, but hopefully you'll be able to find some information in what I've said there and give Rally a try. EA WRC, Dirt Rally 2, Dirt Rally 1, any of the WRC games, V-Rally 4 for example, Richard Burns Rally. There are anything Rally, give it a go. Anything driving a car off-road, just, you know what, it doesn't have to be Rally. Just try something new, like Forza Horizon. Okay, yeah, it's pretty new, but God, it gets a little bit boring. Just drive around, crash through anything. Once you watch this, if you are interested, I want to know in the comments down below what rally game you're going to try and to see. And just don't worry about it. Don't try and win the first race you do online. And you know what, if you want to have a race online, let me know. If I've got it downloaded, I'll jump on and play, because I sort of need those challenges back in my life. I enjoy it. I don't care if I win, don't care if I lose, but it's always nice to win, obviously. But yeah, it'll be fun to have it. And if I can inspire a new generation of you rally drivers to come on and play with us, I'd love it. Anyway, thank you for watching.